Hi there, welcome to another edition of the Noble Sage Tea Time TV. I am going to be looking at this painting today. My mum is waving at me in the background there while I'm doing it, just trying to put me off. Sorry we've taken a bit of a break. I needed a vacation, even though that vacation was spent at home in quarantine. I think I just needed a bit of a break from making videos every day. But I'm back and excited to be sharing with you this. I've been looking over my notes on this work. This is by Professor S. Dhanapal, who is an artist who died in 2000, and he is crucial to my collection. And the reason why he's crucial is in October 2006, I had an exhibition dedicated to S. Dhanapal. And the reason why is that in that early year, which is the first year of the gallery kind of going as a gallery, I needed to kind of carve a niche that and a kind of historical context that people understood when they came to my gallery. And that was, of course, around the Madras School of Art. So I took it upon myself to find a way of kind of showing the history of the Madras School of Art and getting people talking about that history and about the important chronology in terms of India's art history and its movement from colonialism and the empire, and then its independence, and then that story of kind of finding your own artistic style, your own artistic idiom after independence, and that struggle for artists in that area. So I looked for a way of doing that, and then it almost fell into my lap. Worked through a few other different people, Mr. R.B. Bhaskar and another artist of the gallery. This artist, S. Dhanapal, fell into my lap, and I had a large exhibition. I think it was about 50 works in the show, and we have now in the collection about 10 to offer people, or 9 to offer people, one of which is this work. And what's really interesting about S. Dhanapal's work is that how he's placed in the history of the Madras School. So about 30 years before independence, the first Indian principal of the Madras School of Art, before that was just British people running it, and mainly to create craft kind of art in the area. It was D.P. Roy Chowdhury, just 30 years before independence, who was the first Indian principal of the Madras College. And he's seen as pretty important, naturally, in terms of what his impact on the Madras School was. But after him were two principals who were key. One was K.C.S. Panikkar, and the other one was S. Dhanapal. So K.C.S. Panikkar is very difficult to come across. I've looked for his work and I tried to source it, but then S. Dhanapal's work fell into my hands. And this whole big show came together very quickly, and it was a way of kind of showing people that the collection I have, people like Adi Veerapandiyan, people like V. Anamika, people like G. Raman, they were part of a hierarchy and a kind of a generational grouping under people like S. Dhanapal. So S. Dhanapal taught many of the other artists that you will know in my collection. And after S. Dhanapal was L. Munuswamy, A.P. Santhanaraj, and so this artist had a huge impact on those artists, and particularly other ones like Paratosh Sen. He also had an impact there. So he's a very kind of important, well-placed artist in my collection, and so the 9 works I have are really key to what my gallery is all about. This work I love. It's a very early work, one of the earliest works in my gallery, and you can see it's called composition. You can see it's called composition because it's really about the layout of these figures in that space. Not much effort has been put into not much focus has been put into the details of faces. It's left very kind of impressionistic. Only this one has got a little bit more detail. The rest is really about the formation in this horizontal format of these turbaned, sometimes bearded players. It's a very enigmatic work. It's a very elegant sophisticated, but most of all it speaks of the history of the Madras school, because it kind of tells that, because Dhanapal would have studied under British teaching, British white teaching in the Madras school, Madras College of Art. So he would have studied under that teaching, and so you can see the influence of countries like Germany and Britain, and the influence of Orientalism and the kind of fanaticism around Southeast Asia, particularly China. You can kind of see that in this work. Not only in the layout, in the kind of quite strange composition, it kind of harks to the Orient, or to particularly to China, which was a huge interest of the Madras Government College. So it's a very impressive work to look at on the wall, and importantly, it's a huge part of our history. It's a huge part of Indian art history, and so I was delighted to have it for the collection. And I actually don't show it often, because it's kind of like a treasure, which I just don't show very often. I show the kind of more, perhaps more extrovert work, whereas this is more sedate and more subtle, and so I keep it as a treasure in the back stores. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with this work to have a closer look. I am going to be joining you again 5 o'clock again on the Facebook channel, on our Facebook profile. So do join me tomorrow and every weekday at 5 o'clock for more videos like this. Sorry about the reflection, by the way.